What's up, everybody? It's Drew Wilkins with Swine and Bovine Barbecue. Today's video, we're making a Memphis style sausage and cheese platter. We have ourselves some spare rib trim as well as some pork butt. Gonna use it to make this Memphis style sausage platter. If you've ever been to Memphis, you know that pork is king. We're gonna make this an all pork sausage. Just patting this dry, getting some of the moisture that comes when you vac seal things and freeze them. Just getting all that wiped off, then we'll get it in a bowl and add some kosher salt and some of our pink curing salt. That way we can let it cure overnight. Got our meat nicely in our bowl here, so now we're gonna go in with some kosher salt as well as some pink curing salt. Prog powder number 1, Instacure. This is what allows us to cold smoke the sausage at under 150 degrees and not form any botulism or any bacteria growth within the sausage, which could make you sick. So Memphis style sausage platters. I love Memphis style barbecue. If you're new to this channel, that might be a surprise considering all the Texas barbecue I cook, but if you've been around for a little bit, especially if you've watched the About Me video, you know that I grew up on Memphis style barbecue. And there's a place called Rendezvous in Memphis, Tennessee. I've only been there a few times, but they have a phenomenal sausage platter. It's really no frills. It is pork sausage that's grilled, pepperoncinis, cheddar cheese, pickle spears, and then some crackers. Really not a lot of frills, but what really makes it is they season it with their dry seasoning. So after everything's on the platter, situated, all made up, they come over the top with some of their Memphis style dry seasoning. If you've seen my videos on the Memphis style chicken or Memphis style ribs, you know that I make my own dry seasoning. And I've been tossing this idea around in my head for a while as I toss this sausage, and am pretty excited to make it. Was in Nashville recently, Peg Leg Porker, they have a sausage platter there. And my love for Memphis style barbecue and sausage really translates well into this cook. So that's why we're making it. And we've got our sausage nicely coated. You can't really see any of the granules anymore. They're all mixed in. If you look at the bottom of this bowl, you're unable to really see any of the seasoning. So we're nicely coated in it. So this is gonna go covered in the fridge overnight. Let that cure do its job. Let the salt season the meat throughout. We'll come back tomorrow, add the rest of our seasonings, case it, and link it. It is the following day and our meat is ready to grind. It's nicely cured. The pink curing salt's done its job. The salt's also penetrated the meat. So now it's time to grind it up. We've got our grinder here, just gonna put it through the chute, let it grind. Our meat is nicely ground, nice and pebbly. We had this meat in the freezer for about an hour before we ground it. We also had the grinder parts that touch the meat in the freezer for about an hour as well. It keeps the meat nice and cold, keeps the fat from smearing, and gives us this nice pebbly texture that we're looking for. So now, time to go in with our seasonings. We've obviously already gone with our kosher salt and our pink curing salt. So now we're gonna go in with some coarse black pepper, granulated garlic, ground yellow mustard, crushed red pepper, paprika, cayenne, and for a little sweetness, some brown sugar. Now we're just gonna mix all this up. We're gonna get all these spices nicely incorporated. We have a nice initial mix on our spices, so we're gonna go in with some non-fat dried milk powder. This will be our binder. Make sure we get some nice, fat, juicy sausages, and then some water. Ice cold water is our liquid. Now we're gonna mix it until our arms sore and it's nice and tacky. 4 to 5 minutes later and our sausage is nice and tacky. Sticks to the hand, doesn't want to fall off. This is going to bind really well in our casings. Punching the meat down because it takes air pockets out of the meat you have in the stuffer, thus helps you avoid air pockets in your finished links. Going on with some natural hog casings, and if you have a good butcher, I highly recommend getting your casings from them. I've ordered many a casing online that come dry and packed in salt, and all of those break incredibly easily. Now, of course, the ones you get from a butcher come packed in salt too, but a lot of times there's a little bit of brine with them, and for whatever reason, they're significantly stronger and pop way less than the ones I get online that are packed in salt. So my recommendation, get them from your local butcher if you can. Lower this down, shut some meat, Tie this off. And we're going to case into some long links. I've been doing that lately as opposed to linking individually. Find it saves some time. And I don't get a lot of air pockets. The finished product is not any worse. So that's the way I'm going about it. When it is time to link them up, I leave some casing on the end. That way if we get a little too tight, it has somewhere to go. We'll get it rolled out like this. Figure out how long we want our links. Make a pinch. Figure out the exact same length. Roll it up. Make our sausage. They'll plump up nicely as you roll them. So same thing. Length. Length. Sausage. Roll it up. Nice and plump. Then we got this one right here. Tie this one off. Rinse and repeat till we're done. Our links are looking great. I'm not gonna lie, it was a little bit of a frustrating linking session. As I said, I go through, make a long rope, link them off, move on to the next one. But when you're linking up, I soak the casings in water, hot water, essentially before I put them on the sausage horn to stuff them. That meat is so cold when you're filming and taking your time doing things, it cools off that casing and makes it much harder to glide across the horn and into the sausage meat. It provides resistance and then you can overstuff and pop. So I highly recommend once you put that warm water soaked casing on the horn, you stuff immediately, it'll glide right off and solve a lot of your popping issues. So these are gonna go in the fridge overnight, let them rest, let this casing dry out nicely. We'll see you tomorrow morning. It is the following morning. We've got our pit fired up. It's nice and smoky. Our links have dried out pretty well overnight in the fridge. So we're gonna cut these into individual links, get them on the smoker. Have our links on the pit. It is nice and smoky. We're gonna let these go for the next several hours. Gonna maintain the temps under 150 degrees, ideally around 100, 125. Not a true cold smoke, a little more of a heated smoke, but that'll get us nice color, nice smoke on these links, and it'll dry out these casings. So for now, I'm gonna shut it down, let them smoke. We are roughly 2.5 hours into this cold smoke, and our sausages are starting to get some great color. So we're gonna flip these over, let them continue to cold smoke until they've got the overall color that we're looking for on both sides. Shutting it down, gonna let them keep on smoking. Nearly 5 hours later and our sausage is done. Gonna throw it in an ice bath. This will stop the cooking process because I did crank the pit up to 250-ish, 75-ish degrees at the end. That way we can get these cooked through before we ice bath and cool them off. So this will stop the cooking process. It'll also shrink the casing to the meat, give us that nice snappy texture we love with smoked sausage. Sausage is cooled down and we moved some of the coals from the pit over to our PK. We're gonna grill these off to reheat them. Not gonna re-smoke them or re-put them on the pit. Just going straight on the grill. So we're gonna cook these through over some coals. A couple minutes in, we're gonna flip them over. Getting a nice char on them. Our links have a nice char on them. So we're gonna move them indirect now. Let them finish heating up. Our sausage is heated through, whoops, and looking absolutely fantastic. So we're gonna move this over to the cutting board, let it rest, then we'll slice into it. Our links have cooled off and they're looking delicious. So let's slice into them, see how we did. Going a little bit of a bias here. Let's go with this one right here. Nice, plenty of juice in it. It's a good looking link. Let's build our platter. To start off the platter, we've got saltines as well as just some medium sliced cheddar cheese sticks. Gonna add some pickles, gonna add some pepperoncinis, then gonna add our sausage. Just pile up those links. And to make it a true Memphis sausage and cheese platter, we've got to go on with some of our homemade Memphis Dry Rub. I'll put the ingredients in the description. We're just gonna give a decent coating on the sausage, a little bit on that, a little bit on the cheese. And there we go. Our platter is complete. I'm starving. Let's dive in. The time has come. 3 days of prep. We're here. Time to dig in. I'm gonna go with a piece of sausage first. Pretty excited about this. Cheers. Grilling just makes for an awesome flavor on a sausage. That's a really good sausage. It's cooled off a decent amount. It's Saturday the 13th of January here in Dallas, and with 60 degrees earlier, in the last 30 minutes it's probably dropped about 20 degrees. We've got the same winter storm coming in that I think most of the country has, so cooled off very quickly, but it is incredibly good. Has a decent spice to it, not overly hot, but a good little spice, which I love. Really good. So next, we're gonna go on with cracker, sausage, and a little bit of cheese. Cheers. Wash it down with the pepperoncini. This is absolutely fantastic. It's such a solid appetizer. It's super simple. Crackers, cheese, pepperoncini, pickle, and sausage with a little bit of this dry rub sprinkled on it, but it is absolutely fantastic. Simple things that probably most everybody has on hand outside of potentially making your own sausage, but it is phenomenal. Sausage has a hint of sweetness from that brown sugar. Really good. First time using brown sugar in a sausage, I really like it. So we've got to go for an ultimate bite here. Got the sausage, cheese, cracker. We're gonna wash it down with the dill pickle spear and a pepperoncini. I am a happy man right now. I'm gonna wash it down with a nice sip of cold beer too. If you've tried this before, you understand why it's so popular at Memphis style barbecue joints. But if you haven't, I can't recommend this enough. It is phenomenal. That's gonna do it for this video. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up. If you wanna see more videos like this, please hit that subscribe button. If you have any suggestions on what you wanna see me cook next, or any questions about this cook, please leave it in the comments down below. But as always, thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Bye.